Hurricane season is upon us, and if you're planning a Disney vacation during hurricane season, it can sound a little scary. Any massive weather event can be nerve-wracking, but with the right planning and knowing what to expect, that can be eased a little bit. Today, I'm sharing what to expect during a hurricane, how Disney handles storms, and what you can do to stay dry, safe, and stress-free. If that sounds helpful, stay tuned.
Welcome to the Effortless Escapes podcast, a podcast to help you plan smarter, relax deeper, and spend more time enjoying your vacation. I'm your host, Ashley, a certified associate travel planner and the heart behind Bella Notte Travel Boutique, who believes that luxury isn't just where you stay, it's how your vacation makes you feel. If you're dreaming of a Disney trip that's curated, calm, and unforgettable, without spending hours researching and getting caught in the never-ending scroll hole of Disney vacation advice, you're in the right place. So grab yourself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's get into it.
Hey friends, let's talk about the looming issue ever present during the summer and fall, hurricane season. In Florida, hurricane season runs from June 1st through November 30th. The peak tends to be from August to early October, but really storms can happen anytime during that window. Now, before you start second guessing your vacation plans, don't worry. It doesn't mean that there will be a hurricane during your vacation if you're going during that time. There's just a little more chance of it. However, Disney has an incredible reputation for handling weather events with safety and guest experience being top priority. So how does Disney handle hurricanes? If a storm, even a thunderstorm, is approaching, here's a couple of things you might notice. Some rides, especially outdoor ones like Slinky Dog Dash and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, will temporarily close, and you'll see this when the cast members are standing outside, not allowing everybody in. You may see umbrellas, tables, and outdoor merchandise carts start to get picked up and put away. Now, if a hurricane is approaching, at the resorts, Disney has detailed safety procedures, from sandbags to keeping guests indoors and entertained. And they really go above and beyond. Take, for example, Hurricane Ian. Cast members stayed on property for days, hosting indoor activities, movie marathons, and even surprising character visits to keep everyone's spirits up and the kiddos entertained. It's very comforting to see just how well prepared Disney is. All right, so let's talk about some tips before you even go on your vacation to make things easier on yourself, especially if you're planning a trip during hurricane season. Here are some 5 things to consider. Number 1, if you're DIYing your trip, book directly through Disney, either via their website or over the phone. If you'd like some additional peace of mind, consider working with a travel advisor that specializes in Disney. They will advocate during this time for you. Here's why this is important. Disney's hurricane policy allows you to reschedule or cancel without penalty if a hurricane warning is issued for your home or for Disney within 7 days of your arrival. A travel advisor or the Disney call center can make sure that you're taken care of if this happens. Number 2, consider travel insurance. I know that this is not a glamorous side of travel, but it can be essential to ensure that you're covered during your trip. Now, when purchasing a policy, make sure your policy covers hurricanes and that you purchase it before the storm is named. Just as an FYI for you on this, if you use a travel advisor, they cannot advise you on the best travel insurance to buy, since they are not insurance agents. However, they can provide you options of insurance companies to take a look at. Let's move on to number 3, pad your schedule. Try not to pack your trip too tightly. It's always recommended to put your must-do park days, if possible, in the middle of your vacation, just in case your travel gets shifted around slightly. This can be huge, especially if your flight gets delayed or the park is closed during hurricane activity at the beginning or at the end of your trip. Number 4, budget for the unexpected. Now, whether it's an extra night at the resort or a delayed flight, having a little wiggle room can save you from stress later. Now, I don't mean that you have to book an extra night as soon as you book your vacation or book 2 flights. No, We're just talking about budgeting for them. So that way, if this does happen, you're covered and you know that you've already planned for this contingency. Number 5, choose a resort that's a good place to stay put. Deluxe resorts like Animal Kingdom Lodge, Wilderness Lodge, Riviera, Contemporary, Grand Floridian, these are all great options because they have interior hallways, multiple dining options, and generators in place if the power goes out. Value and moderate resorts have outside corridors, which makes getting to food and drinks more of a challenge. So we figured out where to stay, how to plan. Let's talk about packing. If you're going during hurricane season, here are a few things to add to your packing list. But really, this applies anytime you go to Florida because the weather can turn from sunny to downpour raining in minutes. And when I say downpour raining, I mean drenched in minutes. So here's a couple of things. Ponchos or lightweight rain jackets. They're very easy to throw into your park bag or your suitcase, roll them up. You have them for the water rides, and you're also set if by chance there is a heavy downpour or a hurricane. Waterproof shoes, or at least backup pairs of socks. There's also the shoe covers that are waterproof that you can just slip over your sneakers. Those are lifesavers during water rides especially. A waterproof phone pouch. These are great, especially for water rides, but during surprise storms, you can just throw them into the waterproof pouch. If you don't have a waterproof pouch, think Ziploc bag, and you're all set and your phone won't get wet. A portable phone charger. As we know, Disney is notorious for having your battery die during your vacation. And this is because you're taking so many photos. You're on the My Disney Experience app, grabbing those lightning lanes. Grab a portable phone charger and you'll be all set during your trip, but also at the resort if perchance you need it. Another thing you can consider, grabbing a few snacks or games to keep. Not like board games unless you're driving, but portable games that you can keep the kids or yourself occupied just in case you're spending more time indoors than expected. Now, you don't need to overpack, not saying anything like that, but a few smart things can make a huge difference if a storm rolls in. So let's say a hurricane actually does hit. What happens? If a named storm is expected to directly impact Disney World, if it's severe enough, Disney may close the parks and ask guests to stay inside the resorts. But even then, you're not just stuck in your room. Disney pulls out all the stops with indoor entertainment, movies, characters in the lobby for great meet and greets, and meal kits or grab and go food. The power stays on, the Wi-Fi stays connected, and honestly, it ends up being a pretty cozy experience because Disney has all those things covered. And you're wondering maybe, what do we do about all the updates? How do we know when it's safe? They keep you updated through telephone calls, resort channel TV updates, notifications in the My Disney Experience app, and even letters under the door. So if you've ever experienced a hurricane during your vacation at Disney, it is one of the best places you could actually be for this experience because they take such good care of their guests. However, I'm going to do a disclaimer. This does not mean that you can just pop over to Disney if you've decided to stay off property and there is a hurricane. Unless you're staying at the resort, access to the resorts may be restricted when there's a hurricane approaching, as they are prioritizing the safety of their guests. It's just another perk for staying on Disney property during your vacation, especially during the months of June through November. You'll be safely cared for if there's a hurricane. Okay, you've successfully weathered the storm. Now what? Once the storm passes, things usually bounce back quickly. Disney is efficient, as we all have come to appreciate. They'll reopen the parks, get transportation up and running, and keep everyone updated again through the My Disney Experience app or through some hotel announcements, whether that be on your TV or under the door. Just be prepared for a little bit of flexibility. Flights might still be delayed or canceled, and it's helpful to have a backup plan just in case. So, That was a lot of information to digest about hurricane season in Florida. The important thing is to stay flexible and listen to the cast members when they are giving directions, since they're trained to keep you safe. I hope this gave you some peace of mind about visiting Disney during hurricane season. With a little prep and the right mindset, you can still have a really amazing vacation. If you found this information helpful, I'd love it if you'd give this video a like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you never miss an episode. And of course, if you'd like help planning your trip, especially during hurricane season, I'm here for you every step of the way. Until next time, friends, stay safe, happy planning, and I'll see you real soon.
Thanks for joining me on this episode of the Effortless Escapes podcast. I'm so glad you were here. Find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Threads for more Disney travel planning tips and tricks at Bella Notte Travel Boutique. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you're alerted when a new episode drops. See you back here soon for a new episode of the Effortless Escapes podcast.